As Imam Ghazali rahimahullah ta'ala concludes this section, that being performative for others in order to impress them is a serious spiritual disease. Imam Ghazali tells us, he says, the objective of speech is to convey meaning. When you go well beyond that, now you're becoming performative, you're becoming pretentious. Imam Ghazali does add a caveat at the end of this section. He does say when you're advising others or for religious sermons, for you to be eloquent so that you convey the message well in order to please Allah, this is not performative anymore. Muslims are tasked to learn their deen well. And when they learn their deen well, they are tasked to convey it. And naturally, if you want to be a good representative of the deen, you have to seek to speak eloquently. Imam Ghazali says this eloquence that is done for the sake of Allah, in order to represent the deen well, in order to inspire people, move their hearts towards Islam, this doesn't come under being performative. But he does warn. He says, don't go well beyond this. Don't become theatrical as you are doing sermons. Don't, as one of my beloved teachers, Allah Karim sahib, he would explain, he says, don't do dramabazi. As you're speaking to people, be sincere, speak well, speak eloquently, but don't be melodramatic. Speak sincerely. And one of many concerning phenomena that we see today is where at one time you would have a select group of people who had access to speaking publicly. In today's world, everyone has access to speaking publicly through our phones, our social media. And because of everyone having this access to speaking or putting yourself before the public, we are seeing this rise where people love to perform before this camera. And this craze to become a spectacle before random strangers online is getting so out of hand that we have Muslims who are willing to put their wives, their mothers, Muslim women willing to put their husbands, their brothers, even impressionable children are not spared, where we're willing to put our loved ones on display for the world, random strangers, to ravenously consume. We are now commodifying our loved ones, selling ourselves and our loved ones simply for the sake of cheap likes, cheap follows. Technology, with all of its benefits, does also have devastating harms. And amongst those devastating harms, one spiritual disease that is at an all-time high is this desire to be a performer for others, this desire to commodify yourself and your loved ones. This is a spiritual disease. Public speaking, putting yourself before others, the first condition is learn the religion well. And then after that, do it for the sake of Allah. The content that you are putting out, what is the reason for it? All of us, myself included, this is a great trial. We have to constantly purify our intentions, and especially, let's stop selling ourselves and our loved ones, our mothers, our wives, our husbands, our children, for the sake of cheap likes, for the sake of cheap laughs, for the sake of cheap follows. May Allah Azza wa Jal, for the sake of our beloved Rasul, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, save us from these spiritual calamities, these diseases that Imam Ghazali warned us of many years ago, and they're becoming ever more dangerous in today's world. May Allah Azza wa Jal save us all. Bijah Nabi Karim, alayhi afdalu salatu wa tamu taslim.